A good Voch Raboisai. Alone in the basement in Park City, Utah. It's gewaltig Erev Shabbos. One of three shiurim Be'ezer Hashem. Dear Rebelli, I just want to say, may a kosher Pesach come your way, whether on the ski slopes or in the basement. We are here with you. It won't quite be the same, but what can we do? The tacker, no excuses. Some people spell it like that. Takker. It's takke, not tacker, but okay. There are tacker, no excuses. Let the Yetzer Hara go five. We are the true daffers. The rest need to get a life. Have a beautiful. I guess it rhymes. Have a beautiful other. With respect to you so much. Messages waiting. Get over here and keep in touch. With much love and admiration from Shimon Sandhouse, Manchester, UK, on behalf of all the Manchester Yugamanchiks. No buttons today. Dear Rebelli, kiss from Hashem. On the day that Rebbe announced he was departing with his family to Park City, Utah, I happened to see a Denver federal court ruling stating that ski season pass holders. I also go through all the Denver federal court rulings, and I didn't see this one, Taka. It's a good thing that you go through all of them, and you saw this, stating that ski season pass holders can sell their unsold ski days on a secondary ticket exchange. That is interesting because I am looking for ski pass tickets for Sunday. There are $300 a person, and I don't want to spend that. I know someone that's coming here for next week, and it said it's going to cost him $3,000 a day. That's crazy for ski lifts and rentals and everything. It's very, very expensive now. Therefore, Rebbe will able to buy greatly discounted, thus allowing Rebbe to allocate the savings towards additional trips to the Italian Alps, African safaris, and MDY's inaugural cruise voyage. Shkoya. I began learning Daf Yomi on my own with all that since Brachas, and I've been with you since MDY Shir since getting my free Gemara Nazir. Of course, who doesn't like something free? You see, Rabbi say give a free Gemara. It's Kedai because he's with us since Nazir. Although Rebbe has said we should not necessarily bring up our past, it could be helpful to discuss the past when it provides a valuable lesson that will hopefully, Bezrat Hashem, encourage others to learn more Torah and do more mitzvahs. You know, I don't know that I said not to bring up the past. I said don't dwell on the past. Don't let the past bog you down. We move on. We go from here onward. It's always good to talk about the past and to learn from it. I never went to yeshiva and became a Baal Tshuva together with my wife while I attended law school and only began learning Daf Yomi at the age of 52. Despite my limited Jewish education, I've not missed learning Daf Yomi since the current cycle began on January 5th, 2020, which will be 5 years and 3 months tomorrow, which will be 1,918 days approaching age 58. Rebelli share, though valuable stories, Muslim, listening to everyone's experiences via their emails, has been instrumental in teaching me important lessons that I use daily in my life. I want to express my extreme gratitude to Rebbe for being an amazing source of Torah, knowledge, and rational thinking. Oh, that's a new one. Rational thinking. That's a big compliment. Even when Rebbe makes self-deprecating jokes about himself, it's done in a way whereby it shows that Rebbe thinks just like everyone else, which makes Rebbe and the MDY experience extremely relatable. When I was in Avelos for my father beginning October 4th, 2023, I did not know if I would be able to attend MDY inaugural Shabbaton, as I was just ending Shloshim the weekend of November 3rd, 2023. A close rabbi advised that I should attend, since it would give me chizuk and encouragement, and encourage my continued learning. It certainly provided that, and even more. Whoa! This is a long one, so we're going to have to skip because it's Shabbos. Listen, any person, no matter his background and situation, can do this. Once I kept going, the Daf Yomi became an instinctual habit now built into my DNA. Beautiful. Instinctual habit built into my DNA. Instead of trying to find time to learn, my life now revolves around learning. He's not trying to find time to learn. His life tries to find time for him because he's so busy learning. I can truly say that the learning of the Daf Yomi has changed my life for the better. This includes my children becoming more stark, improved shalom bayis, increased mitzvahs, and more love and achdus both within and surrounding my mishpach and chaverim. Gewaldige email. So even though it's so long, I do want to read everything because it's all good stuff. This week, to encourage others to also learn, I texted approximately 36 friends and family and the MDY links for Makis, and added that Makis is only 23 days and it's never too late to join, as Daf Yomi is like a Ferris wheel. Just when you get on, just get on when you can. I received 11 positive comments and one really harsh negative text. My wife was maybe concerned that I was, whatever that word is, since the negative text was extremely harsh and scary. Ultimately, even that person who initially gave a friendly response apologized. Letter texting was an April Fool's Day joke, and further said, "Thank you for trying to make me a better person. Would be happier, more at peace if it took your advice. I love you, man." It shows the true power of Torah. I realized it was worth the effort of going out of my comfort zone. If we all do our part, we can save more Yidden, try to increase love and peace in this world and help improve us all for the better. You hear this? He went out of his comfort zone. If we all do our part, every single one of you, don't just listen to this email and go weiter. Take action. Bring one person to the daf. Change one Yid's life in Torah. That's what he's saying. It's always a challenge to navigate providing advice or stating the halacha to anyone, assuming we even know it, since we live in a society where many people get easily offended receiving advice. They may believe it's a statement from you claiming you are better than they are. This is absolutely not true, since we learned clearly in Sanhedrin and everywhere else and elsewhere, we'll have our own flaws. No person is perfect. We'll have equal opportunity to pursue true tshuva, cleanse our souls and achieve greatness in this world and beyond. Only Baruch who knows our experiences, what is truly in our hearts. May we all be blessed to leave this world as pure as when we entered it, and merit becoming more connected to Hashem in both Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba, with sincere gratitude to Rebbe, respectfully, Eliyahu Israel, originally from the Bronx. You know, he still didn't beat my upbringing. Originally from the Bronx, before my journeys through Binghamton, Hempstead, Fairlawn, Muncie, Wesley Hills, and Teaneck, Yishkoyach, Eric, Eliyahu, Israel. Beautiful email. One to treasure. This is from a 7-year-old. I thought it's cool. He did his own thing, and he's advertising MDY. I thought it's super cute. And it says, "A good morning, Rabbi say, Merkaz with a kuf. Merkaz Daf Yomi. Hey, Yud Mem Yud. Meharav Eli Stefansky. Shin Tof Pei Nun Samach Kuf Yud." Love it. It's a classic. Mam's a classic. Here we go. Beautiful. Look how he spelled my name. Stefansky. Meharav. Mem Hey Reish Beis. Okay. Rabbi Isai, where are... Oh, we have to do... yeah. I almost got away with that. The Masechta. How many minutes? Wow! Mr. Sponsor, lirfo Shmuel Ben Chana, Ettel, Yosef, Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama, the grateful family, anonymous for that. ובגשמיות, Larry Cohn, in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, who started learning Daf Yomi at age 7, and continued for 33 years until he was nifter by anonymous for the unity of the Jewish people. I could sing now because I don't have anybody to tell me not to. Glenn Esterson, with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. It's a good thing I don't remember the song that they used to play when Reb Michal Yarden came into the... Okay, that's a different time. Bali sponsors Eli Stefansky and Moshe Ben Yosef by ActualEyes, by Hatzlacha B'Parnasa, by Parnasa Birevach for Baruch, Tzvi, Nissim, Ben Shoshana, Leah. Kyle sponsors for the month. Thank you to Reb Eli's wife and kids for the great sacrifices they make, skiing with me every day. They make, allowing him to spread Torah to the masses. NDY kids. Monthly, Kinnovations, Chos, Official, Elchanan, Akiva, Rivki, and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month, Refu Shlema, for Yonatan Eitan Ben, Bashava Bracha, Refu Shlema, for Schos for Rebellion, the whole MDY staff, to continue to make Torah, so enjoy so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Marcus Ashkenazi, for all the work they do, 1.5 minutes, saying the sponsorships. Rabbi Isai, Givaldige sugis today about Nochem Ish Gamzu, the famous story about Nochem Ish Gamzu, and all the very, very famous stories about Zdaim, how evil they were, and even a few that you never heard of. Says Gemara, 2 lines from the bottom, Daf Kuf Ches Amud Beis, Nochem Ish Gamzu. Have a rogel. Who is Nochem Ish Gamzu? Just to give us a little perspective, Nochem Ish Gamzu was the Rebbe, one of the Rabbeim of Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Akiva said the famous saying, Kol Mada Ovid Rachman Al-Tav Ovid, everything that Hakadosh Baruch Hu does is for the better. Nochem Ish Gamzu did one better than him, they say. He says, Gam Zu L'Toiva, the famous Gam Zu L'Toiva. This is also for the good. Right now, here, I don't have to wait like Rebbe Akiva to find out what it is. Kol Manda Ovad in the future. Right now, today, is L'Toiva. Havroga called Ava Solkle Omar Gam Zu Lutoiva. Guy was complaining to his friend about what a terrible life he has, and this went bad for him, and that went bad for him, and this kid did this, and this one needs surgery. And his friend keeps on telling him it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And finally, he got aggravated. So what do you mean it could have been worse? How could it be worse? His friend said, it could have happened to me. It happened to you. It could have been worse. Says the Gemara, Bo Yisrael Shaduri Dar in the Keser. Famous story. I'm sure I saw it in a book when I was a kid. Or whatever it's called. The Jews needed to send a gift to the Caesar because they were in trouble. Who should we send it with? We need somebody special. Great idea. Let's use Nachum Gamzu. Why? He is experienced with Nissim. If something will happen, he could wiggle his way out with the nests. So it's a long trip, and he comes to this hotel. He wants to sleep overnight. We need to know what you have in your suitcase. I'm bringing a gift. I'm bringing the taxes to the Caesar. I'm bringing something special to the Caesar. They got up in the middle of the night. They untied all the whatever they closed up this chest with. They opened it up. Called the Havigabe, and they emptied out all its contents, all the gold and then the valuable gems. Umalunu Afra. When I was a bacher, you might have remembered this. We used to drive down in Manhattan on the West Side Highway, whatever, and then at the light, there used to be this guy. Always, these guys. They used to try to sell you a VCR, show you a box, and you would lift it up the box. It was like nice and heavy. If you ever fell for that trick, you'd get home and you'd open up the box. They'd sell it for really cheap. Instead of a VCR costing $150, they'd sell it to you for $50. Get home, and I didn't see. Well, my friends told me, you open up and there's a big stone inside, and sometimes they would even curse you and say, "Oh, you're a sucker," and they would put like a mustard, like one ketchup, a bag of a ketchup or something. Terrible people. So over here also, they filled it all with dirt. They don't want him to think that something feels strange, that the package is light. So they filled it up. They instead of putting, they put dirt in there. When they got to the Caesar, the Caesar opens up the gift. This is even worse than that woman opening up the box and finding a skull. He opens up the box, a bunch of dirt. The Jews are making fun of me. What's going on here? So they took him out for killing. They went to kill him. Nachum Gamzu is about to lose his life. Now here's the test. It's very nice if you park your car and you forget to put the quarter in the meter and you get a ticket and you say Gamzu L'Toiva on $25 on whatever the ticket is today, $50 ticket, Gamzu L'Toiva. It's a whole different situation when they're taking you out and this is your last few minutes of your life. And shkoyach, wow, what a gift. It's one of the best gifts ever. I'm not even going to say what it is. It's a funny gift. Anyway, this is from your last moments of life, and you say, Gam Zulatova. I'm going out to die, Gam Zulatova. It's unbelievable. That shows that all the Gam Zulatovas that he said his entire life are real. It's not Misofa V'lachutz like we said. Also, Eliyahu became Eliyahu disguised himself like one of the Caesar's people. What are you getting all nervous? What are you getting upset about the Jews? This might be very, very special dirt, the famous dirt that Avraham Avinu, and that's why the story is brought here, because that's how we finished off yesterday. This is the dirt from Avraham Avinu that he used to kill the 4 kings. Excuse me. Hold on. Not going to help, but we can try. When he threw the dirt, it turned into swords. Here. So first of all, he came, and there was dirt. Caesar's looking at this. What is going on here? When they threw the dirt, it became swords. And when they threw, beautiful picture, when they threw the The straw, it became arrows. With straw, Havagire became arrows. Baduk, they checked it, and that's what happened. They threw it, it became swords. So the Gemara continues, there was a city they couldn't conquer. So they sent some of this dirt here, like over here. Oh, this is a better picture. Because they took the dirt right out of the chest. I love this picture. I didn't even pay attention to it. Here's a city they couldn't conquer. And all these soldiers on the bottom over there. Here, look at these soldiers. They look like little ants, but these are many, many soldiers. Yeah. Looks better from the distance. A lot of detail there. Took it right out of the chest. Boom, just dirt, and turns into swords. So they take Nachum Gamzu. Listen, you deserve a great gift. Amri, they take him into the treasure, to the treasure room. Amri shkol denichalach, take whatever you want. So he filled up the chest with gold and he brought it back. Also, when he came back and he was making his way back, and he had this one hotel with the bad guys. So the owners of this place say, what did you bring the king? He said to them, what I took from over here. In other words, I brought the dirt to the king. Our dirt is special, it could kill the enemy. So let's bring more, and the king will love us also. So they brought the dirt to the Caesar. So he killed them all off. The Noid of Yehuda, he gave a speech and he said, this could be a mashal. Like all the stories that we have here, all limudim and everything, I constantly see that a lot of stuff is not understandable on a simple level. There's a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of Kabbalah, etc. Says the Noid of Yehuda, why do we come to this world? We come to this world to accomplish, to build our ruchnias. Person is about to die. You say, hey, sir, your life is almost over. Let's take account of what you did. He opens up the chest and he sees it's full of dirt. It's full of shtusim. His life is garnished. So he has a lot of tsar. You say, listen, as is, we deserve to die, to be wiped off. But there's a way out. If you could change this dirt into swords and into arrows, then not only will you not die, but we'll give you a great award. How do you do that? Do tshuva. You do tshuva. You regret everything that you did. And what happens? Zdoinos, the bad averis, nasim schuyos. The zdoinos nasim schuyos. Your bad becomes good. The dirt, each piece of dirt becomes a sword, becomes something valuable. And therefore, at the end of the day, they fill up your box with gold and jewels, and they send you on your merry way. But if you're from the Diore, you're from the bad guys, you say to yourself, what do I have to do tshuva now? Let me do Averis now, and after I'm done with the Averis, then I'll do tshuva. That person, they must speak in biyadai, and he is subject to a very big oynish. Says the Gemara, Dar Aflaga, new sugya, Dar Aflaga. Dar Aflaga are these guys. No. Oh, should start moving now. Not moving. Maybe you could get it to move. Oh. Dar Aflaga, they don't have a portion in the world to come. My Ovid, what was so bad about the Dar Aflaga? The Torah doesn't really describe. Amri, the Berib Shilo, Nibna Migdal, let's build this big tower. Vinala Rikia, and we'll go up to heaven. Vinaka Yosef Bikardumois, and we'll bang on heaven's door with our axes. Why? Kadeshi Zuvu Meimov, that we could get the rain out by ourselves. We don't need Hashem. We can make sure there's not enough. It'll run out of water. There won't be a mabel. Whatever their svar was. Says Gemara Mechacho Allah b'Marova. In Eretz they didn't like this pshat. If the whole thing was to go up and bang on heaven's door, then they should have built their tower on the highest mountain. They should have came here to Park City or to the Himalayas or whatever and build a tower over there. What are they building down below until they get to the height of the mountain? Will take them forever. They take out the word Ella. There are three categories of people in the Dar Aflaga. One says, we don't want to deal with the Mabul, let's go with a very high place, which is not, it's considered a bad thing. Let's go to a high place so we can worship Avodah Zarah. Let's go up and do war with Hashem, according to one pshat. There's a fascinating Rabbi Yonasan Eivshitz. I forgot to look up when he lived. Maybe Mark could tell me in middle share. I want to say he lived 350 years ago. He says that the reason why they wanted to go up very high in a tower to do war with Hashem, he says, they wanted to go out of the Halal Ha'olam, which in English is translated to the atmosphere. They wanted to go above the atmosphere, where he describes as it doesn't have the power of gravity. And over there, if you don't have gravity, you can take a vessel and it'll go upwards. It won't be tied down by gravity, and it'll be this is Rabbi Yonasan Eivshitz. It'll be able to reach the moon, and then they'll live on the moon. They'll build a whole society on the moon. That's what he says. 350 years ago. The class of people that said they wanted to go up there, live there, Hashem, spread them out throughout the whole world, together with the animals. That's why there's animals in Africa, animals over here, everywhere. And those people said, let's build a tower so that we could do war. Nasu koifim, they became monkeys. Veruchos, veshedim, velilin. So let's pause it for a second, because a few times we had this thing. Hold on, we're going to get here a day. 335 years ago. Close. Okay, it was a nice guess, 350. Okay, he's nifter. He's nifter 261 years ago. Nifter 261. Okay, he was born 335 years. Shkoyach Mark. Now we have to go to this guy. Scientists say that humans evolved from the apes because we share 98.9% of their DNA. We have the same DNA as them almost. Over here, the Gemara says the opposite. We don't come from the apes. The apes come from us. Here, like this guy right over here. So it says in Shulchan Aruch, there are two types of animals that if you see them, you have to say, Baruch, Mishana, Brios. Bless Hashem that you made some funny or different types of animals. One of them is a monkey. And the other one is this guy. Take a look. Because by the Dora Flaga, Baruch made humans into monkeys and into elephants. All right. Not only that, the people became ruchais, shedim, velilin. So for this, we want to see Rashi over here. So Rashi says, shedim yeshlam tzura sadam, a shed looks like a human being. They eat and drink. They also have relations like a human being. They can have relations with human beings. They can get pregnant from human beings. Ruchen, what's a ruach? Beli guv tzura, doesn't have a body, doesn't have a shape. Lilin, Suras Adam. This guy is scary. If you meet a guy like this is really scary. He's a human being. They have wings. If you ever go to the mikveh and you see a guy with wings, you should know he's a lili. And you should stay away from him. The person, now somebody's going to say, oh, Mam Shekis from Hashem. I went to the mikveh, I saw somebody with wings, like the Harley Davidson. That's not what I meant. Sometimes you go to the mikveh and you see a Baal Tshuva that has a tattoo of wings or whatever. That's not what I meant. I meant real wings. It says Gemara, and the category of people from the Dar Flog that said, let's go up high and let's do Avodah Zarah. Hashem changed all the languages. No one, because they wanted to unify and become one with Avodah Zarah against Hashem. So Hashem said, you know what? You speak Russian, you speak French, you speak Spanish, you speak English. Everybody has a different language, and therefore you can't get along. You don't know what the other person is saying. The whole generation, they all wanted to do Avodah Zarah. And that's a lot of shame. You shouldn't mention another idol's name. So too, by Dara Flog is all about Avodah Zarah. Migdal, Shlish Nisrav, Shlish Nivla, Shlish Kayom. Yeah, you know what? Let me show you real quickly what it looks like in Utah. The shear. Nobody. Not even my son. Oh, which reminds me, Elazar! Okay. Do you see the nice trees outside? I don't know if you can see. The white, what are they called? They're all white trees over here. Okay, let's see if I can get it back to almost. Okay, not bad, not bad. A little bit on the side over there. It was very risky, but Baruch Hashem got it back. Okay. No, because the other one's going to say there's 75 people there in the room, and it's not true that he says shir to himself, to myself. Here it is. So this migdal, this tower, 1/3, the top third was burned. Shlish nivla, the bottom third sunk into the ground. Shlish kayim, and the middle shlish, the middle third, still exists. So when I read it, I thought it means if you go into the tower, you forget your learning. Says Rashi, no, you don't have to go into the tower. If you see the tower, if you're within the vicinity of the tower, that causes you to forget your Torah. Yosef, Bavel, Ubursif, these two places called Bavel. Bavel is not the Bavel that we know. Bavel is a city, Bavel, like New York, New York. Bavel, in Bavel, Ubursif, similar to Torah. If you stay in Bavel, since you could see the Migdal, you could see the tower from there, that causes you to forget your Torah. My Bursif, why is it called Bursif? Omer Vasi Bar Shafei. It's an empty pit. Anshi's doim ein lohem chelik lo'olam haba. So now we're going to go into these fascinating Gemaras, where we can learn lessons from it. What not to do. The people of Zdoim don't have a portion in the world to come. So we're going to take this pasuk, and we are going here. Just keep it, Mark. Just keep it on the screen next to me. Take all these words, and we have a drasha from every word, almost every word. Roim. What does bad mean? They were in this world. They were bad. They were sinners. Omer Rav Yehuda. Says Rav Yehuda, the word roim means begufan. They sinned with their own body. Bechatayim bevamaynam, and chet means with their money. Soon we're going to see a shita that's the reverse. Roim is with their money. Chatayim is with their body. Roim begufan. What's my raya that the word ra means with your body? Yosef Atzadik said, I can't sin with your wife. Bechatasi lelokim. So hara, ra is arayis, is with the body. And the word chet is with money. The Torah says if you don't lend money before Shemitah because you're worried that the Shemitah is going to be mishamet, you're going to lose your loan, you're not lending money, that's a chet. So it's referring to money, so the word chet is money. La Hashem, it says in this pasuk in red, it says the word Lashem. What does it mean? What aver did they do? Zubirkas Hashem, that's cursing the Rebbeinu Shalom. Why, right after Lashem, it says Ma'id, very much. Shemiskavnim v'chaytim, they were such Bali Avera that they did, I never heard of such a thing, doing an Avera Lishma, to think I'm doing the Avera with the Kavana to hurt the Rebbeinu Shalom, so to speak. We learned in a Braisa the exact opposite in some of these things. Ra'im is not with your body. Ra means b'mamayin, with your money. V'chatayim, and chatayim, like Rav Yehuda said, is with your money. No, it means with your body. B'gufan. Oh, my voice is not going out? Nah, I don't think so. Please protect my voice. I got to finish the shir and say another one before Shabbos. So the Olam has a shir in Hebrew on Motzei Shabbos. This shir, what I'm giving right now, Daf Kuf Tes, is for the English speakers on Motzei Shabbos. But the Hebrew, I already didn't give a shir on Friday by them. Rabbi Yedidia had to give it. And I don't want to do 2 days in a row. I'm going to try to do for Motzei Shabbos. I hope it works out. So your eye is bad. So bad, raw, it's talking about Evion, poor person, money. How do you know that the word ched is with the body? So one thing they agree on, the word Lashem in red is talking about cursing the Rebbeinu Shalom. Moed, this they don't agree on. Before he said Moed means that they had kavana to do an aver. Zu shviras dam, that's to kill. They killed. Shenema gam dom noki shofach menashe harbe moed. As we'll see stories soon that they killed people. Now we could go back, take the pasuk off. I don't know, it's not coming off by me. Torah, excuse me. Anshis doim, let us go. Elo b'shvil toiva. The reason why the people of Zdaim, they were haughty, is because of the greatness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shishpiel them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all the good Hashem gave them. And what does it say? They have a perfect city. There's bread in the city. In the bottom becomes like fire. The place is full of valuable gems. And the dust turns into gold. The pathways don't have any robbers. And there's no spies in the city. You don't have crazy large animals that kill people. And you don't have a shochal as another way to say a lion, right? We just had it. We had it twice already in this Masech, I think. Shochal is a lion. Omru. Since this city has everything in it, what do we need? Other people. It sounds like Trump. We don't need other countries. Put the tariffs on China. Put the tariffs on we don't need them. We're self-sufficient. What do we need them for? They take from us and they don't give us anything. I don't need you. Says Daim, I don't need anybody. What do I need people for? I don't need I have everything. I have bread. I have gold, silver. What do I need? They're only coming to take from us. Let's get rid of in our country. I'm saying this to give chizuk to people. It was upsetting. I said the other day, and people wrote to me, you have to be melamed tzchus. I was melamed tzchus. I know from the inside, the story from the inside, that's why I said it. It's upsetting that there are certain communities, certain people that are not very fond of having guests in their house. And we see how much the Torah tells us about Avraham Avinu. It goes into tremendous lengths to show us how you machnas oirech. Like when you go to Yossi Klein's house for Shabbos, it doesn't matter who, Sanal Gans, Litvak, all these other people that went to his house. Here, Avi Kamiansky was in America. He went to Yossi Klein. You know what happens? He brings in, I'm not telling you because I don't want to say this because then you're going to want to come to his house for Shabbos. Brings him a sous, this, crazy amounts of food, and all the stuff. To go above and beyond. I learned from my father. We lived in Kensington, and he didn't have any money. My mother was a teacher, and he didn't have a job. You know, he learned at home. Not that he didn't have a job. He learned at home. He didn't learn even in Koil. He didn't get a Koil check. But we always had 2 rooms in our house that were for guests. My father-in-law and people from Eretz Yisrael that come there. My brother, Rafal, has in his house people from Eretz Yisrael with machlas. He's constantly full of people, unfortunately. Sorry. Cholim from all over the world come stay by his house. It's a thing. My wife's family, unbelievable chesed. Adayim hazeh, people come. I said it many times. They know the combination. They stay in their house in Chicago. They don't know who they are. Lo mashana. And in Eretz Yisrael, not by choice, but it just so happens to be we have 6 bedrooms for guests. Now, we usually don't have guests during the week, mainly on Shabbos, and I'm cheating a little bit because most of our guests are like friends of my sons and seminary girls that are related to us. You have to be able to take people in. It's part of Yiddishkeit. It's the fundamental. And you know who's very good at it, unfortunately? Unfortunately, our cousins. By them, Hachnas Zarchim is like the Spitz. They learn from Avram, from Yishmael, wherever they learn from. It shouldn't be a sanegar, something that's going to be against us to say, oh, they're good at it, and Klal Yisrael Chas v'Shalom doesn't. So if you have the opportunity, and somebody needs a place to stay, try to bring him into your house, and don't try to bring him to a hotel and push him off, etc., etc. Zok the Gemara, and whoever thought that I wasn't Melamed Zchus, I was Melamed Zchus. I was Melamed Zchus. I know from the inside over there. Anyway, Zok the Gemara. I have no idea where we are. That they wanted to forget Hanishkachim, Mini Rogel, the people that walk, the people that are on the way, that need a place to stay. Dorash Rav, Maidachsiv, Ad Ono, Tahoisisu Alish. When are you going to stop plotting against this person? You're going to kill all of them with a crooked wall. Godar had Chuyas. The Gemara is going to explain. When a person with a lot of money came, the first thing they said, okay, how are we going to get his money? When we say it's secure Natui, they put him by a wall that's about to fall down, and they push the wall on him, and then they take the money. They would dig, like we said at Baba Machders, they used to dig under the ground and come into the guy's house. They didn't know light. In Zdaim, they would look at the people that came in and they saw they had money. They would take an afar samoin, a good smelling fruit. So in those days, they didn't have bank accounts. So if you had a lot of gold, you'd bury it somewhere. So what would they do? In Zdaim, they would give the guy good smelling perfume, let's say. And the guy really wanted to have this perfume. So he'd take the perfume, put it with his gold, and bury it. At night, they would come and they'd sniff around like a bunch of dogs. And they would smell where that fire someone is. Now they're going to make a clip out of that. And they say, oh, this somebody that never watched this shir only saw that. They say, okay, yeah, Michael Taivas, I don't want to learn Makis. Her boy say, Makis, don't forget Makis. It's starting in 6 days? I don't even know how many days. Hope you've given less. Wow. 5 days. 5 days. Bring your friend, bring your father, learn with your father. Vigat Lebincha, fly from London to Eretz Yisrael, from America to Eretz Yisrael, 2 free tickets. Bring people, or go on officials program, get $250. Or, I don't know if there's still a program, who knows. Or go to MDY and be part of the program, get a free Gemara. We'll hold your hand, we'll help you finish the Masechta, finish the next, change your life. So they would smell we have a picture here. Here's the picture. Nachamal, give it another kvetch. The smelling. And here the fire someone sitting on the table next to the gold. Okay, so it's not on the table. They used to hide it, but just to Lasabers or Naim. And that's how they found all the guests' gold. L'erev, boim umrich moisik kelev, they would smell it, sniff it out like a dog. Shenemar yeshuvu l'erev, yehemu kakelev yisovu. Uboim v'chaydim sham, and they would come and dig, v'noidim moisim mammon, and they take the money. Arim ilchu, they let the guests come, but you can't wear clothing. B'bli levush, without any clothing, being sus bakara, and there was nothing to wear, even though it was cold. Terrible, sleep in the cold. Chamar yisoyim yinahagu, and the donkey would be led by the orphans, as we're going to see, and they would bother and they would hurt the bull of the almana. They would take other people's property, and they would steal the whole, how do you say Eder in English? The flock, the whole flock. They would steal the yiru, and they would graze it on other people's property. And and young people, they would bring them straight to the basic forest. Sit on the haystacks. Darash Rabbi Yosef Tzipari. Says Rabbi Yosef in Tzipari. Rabbi Yosef darshan, and he said, you know what happened in Zdaim? They'll take the Afarsamin. I forgot I said it in English. It's a similar word, right? Afarsamin, Parsamin, something like that. They take the Afarsamin and they'd hide it, they'd give it to a rich person. The person would put it together with this gold and then find the gold. That night, 300 people did that trick. They went to the rich people, they gave them a farsimon, and the rich people would take the farsimon and put it with the gold. And then at night, the person that gave the farsimon would come and sniff it out and steal the gold. Now, 300, pointed out many times, 300 is a guzma usually. Okay, so let's say it happened to 10 people, 100 people. But it happened. Also, so these people, the rich people that lost all their money, they were very upset. And they came to yell at Rabbi Yosef, how could you tell the thieves such a trick? It's a great trick. You told the Ganavim how to steal. I'm supposed to know that Ganavim come to my shir. I thought Tamid Chacham come to my shir. I didn't know that Ganavim come to my shir. So the Shabina Rav, who was the Gal Adar, considered the Gal Adar in Eretz Yisrael, he was the Gal Adar between, this is what my father told me, between the time of the Chazon Ish and the Brisker Rav. He had a little time there. He was the Gal Adar. He was Hasidish for the most part, and he was accepted by all Litvaks, by all Ashkenazis, by everybody. He was a tremendous guy. And he said a beautiful pshat. I love this pshat. He says, "What do you mean? Why would Rebbe say I didn't know that Ganavim are going to come to my shir? Why wouldn't he think that? You're giving a public shir, so Ganavim are going to stop by." He says, "Maridik, because I thought that you, the rich people, are also going to come to this shir. Just like the Ganavim come to this shir, so the wealthy people come to this shir. And if the wealthy people come to this shir, they know not to fall for this trick. If somebody gives you an afarsim, you don't put it in your gold chest. How come you didn't come to this shir? Only the Ganavim came. I didn't have that only Ganavim were going to come to shir, and the good people, the wealthy people, are not going to come to this shir." The Gemara just saying how great Rabbi Yosef was. Shafi Marzev at the Tzipari Dama, the gutters of Tzipari were full of blood, so to speak. Everybody was crying about the loss of Rabbi Yosef. They loved him. Amri, this Lechat Torah in Zdaim, they had crazy rules. One of the rules was if you have one bull, Mari Chad Yom, you have to take everybody in Zdaim's bulls, and you're in charge of the bulls for one day. Punishment. But if you don't have any bulls at all, even if you don't have any bull at all, what connection do you have to bulls? You should be grazing with the bulls. You should be the shepherd of the bulls for 2 days. Everything is against logic. I don't want to say, but it mamish sounds like some of the stuff that the left does in America, like crazy stuff, against logic, like mamish rishus. Let's stick up. What is it now? They're deporting murderers to El Salvador. How can you do that? It's not. Where's the due process? It's usher. How can you leave them here in our country so they can murder more people? All this crazy stuff. People are nuts. The Doge. They're getting rid of the terrible spending in America. How dare they? Let's go burn Elon Musk's cars. He's trying to save American money, your own tax money. He's trying to save it. The sugar, that's called Zdaim. There was a Yasam, the son of a widow. I guess all Yasamim are either sons of a widow or a widower. Okay, he was the son of a widow. He had one bull, and that's maybe, you can see it in the pasuk the Gemara brought before. Sorry. They gave, it doesn't say he had one. They gave him all the bulls of the city to graze. You be the shepherd. You're a Yasam. You're a Nebuch kid. You know what? Let's load you up with a ton of work. Let's give you a couple of 100 bulls to graze. So he was a smart kid. He got back at them. He took all the bulls and murdered them. He killed them. I don't know if you can say murder on a bull. And he says to them, If anybody owns one bull, then they take one hide. The less Torah, but if you don't own any bulls, you can take two hides. My hide, this makes no sense. Makes a lot of sense in Zdam. You're right. In the rest of the world, it makes 0 sense. In this city, it makes a lot of sense. After the bulls are dead, it's like the beginning. This is like Torah marry. You said that if somebody has one bull, he should graze everybody's bulls. He should be a shepherd for everybody for one day. But if he doesn't have any bulls, which makes no sense, he shouldn't have to do with anything. He gets punishment double. So too, it makes a lot of sense. This like if you have one ox, you get one hide. The less Torah. If you don't have any, lishkol trey. It makes a lot of sense according to your sense. Turning of the Daf for Nissan Adar Global one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Innovations LLC. In honor of our sons, Kalma was 12 years old, and Yisrael was 9 years old for learning Sanhedrin with Eli. All because of official. The official sent me a beautiful text that he received from somebody. Hopefully, I have permission to show it. I'll try to show it one of these days. Says Gemara, we're continuing with the terrible stuff of Zdoim. If you go on the bridge, native Chadzuz, you have to pay a toll of 1 zuz. But if you swim across the Hudson, or what's the Verrazano Bridge? I don't even know what the name of the river over there. The Verrazano Bridge is like $16. If you cross it, it's 32. You double it. If you swim across, now you have to pay double. What's the logic? I have no idea. Maybe because you got a free shower or a free mikvah. I don't know. If somebody has a row of bricks, so we have a trick how to make you lose all your bricks without you being able to sue us. Each person takes one. You're going to sue me? I just took one little brick. Maybe it's less than a pruta even. I don't know. If a person had garlic or onions, each person came and took one. You can't come after me, I only took one. Says the Gemara, in Zdaim they had 4 judges. One, his name was Shakroi, a liar. The second one's name was Vishikroi Rai, the liar of all liars. The third one was Zayafe, he was a forger. And the fourth one was Umatzli Dina, he made terrible judgment. The Machelele, this is the Chavri Maplele. This is one of the worst things ever. If somebody caused his friend's wife to miscarry, he hurt her, he gave her he kicked her and she miscarried. They would say to the husband, you have an ahaleh, give your wife to the kicker, so that he could impregnate her and pay you back for the lost child. Terrible arayis and a terrible thing. The pasuk le'lu'udin the chamar and the chavrei, if somebody cut off the ear of a donkey, amrulei hovanahalei adikadcha. You cut off your friend's donkey ear, you take the donkey and you keep it by you until it could heal itself. In other words, that will never happen. Nobody ever grew another ear, and therefore you get to keep a donkey. So you do 2 bad things. You cut the ear and then you get choyta niskar. When you do an avera, you get paid back, you get a free donkey. The podale l'chavrei, if you hit your friend and you cause him to bleed, Amrele, the judges would say, Havli Agra, the one that's bleeding should pay the aggressor. Why? The shokalach dama, because he did you a favor. He did bloodletting. If you had to go to the doctor to do bloodletting, he would charge you money. So this guy did you a favor. Okay, so it hurt a little bit. He used a stick to crack you over the head, but lamaisa, you lost some blood, and therefore you should pay. This is daim. This is the logic of daim. If you go across a bridge, you should pay 4. But if you swim across, you double it up, you have to pay 8. Says the Gemara, the launderer came, the famous, I don't know if it's the same guy throughout Shas, that launderer. It wasn't such a great guy, the launderer. So he said, pay the 4 zuz because he went across the bridge. I'm not paying a toll. I swam across. You swam across. I'm getting half the You don't know the rule. The rule is if you swim, you have to pay double. Why? You used our water. If you didn't want to give. So they beat him up. Oh, you beat him up. I take you to court. Bad idea. You don't go to the judges in Zdime. First, so the judge said, whoa, what happened? They beat you up? Did blood come out? Oh, yeah, it came out. So you owe him money now for the bloodletting. So first pay him for the bloodletting. Then we're going to talk about the rest. The rest is that you owe 8. You have to pay another 8 for going across the water. Says Eliezer went there. They beat him up. So he brought him to the Torah. They tell Eliezer you have to pay the guy because he did bloodletting. Eliezer was no pushover. He took a stick. He knocked him over the head with the stick, and the dying started bleeding. Omar, what are you doing? You're not allowed to hit a judge. Omar, what are you talking about? You owe me money because I did bloodletting to you. Let's do a shibud to Reb Nosson. Instead of me paying him, you go and pay him directly. The money that I have in my pocket will stay in my pocket. The famous story that we learned in kindergarten. There was a bed in Zdime. This is a terrible thing to teach kids, no? It's a little scary. There was a bed. And just until like 2 months ago, we bought a new mattress in Eretz Yisrael. The mattresses, for people that are over 6 feet tall, they actually sell mattresses that are like this much longer than a regular mattress. It's murdic. Because until then, I felt like I was in Zdime. My feet used to fall over the end of the mattress, and and then the ear comes underneath and gets into the blanket. It's like not geschmack. So now, Baruch Hashem, it's long, geschmack. This is a one-stop shop. Shir, I tell you stuff about mattresses, about all sorts of things, about Tesla and the left, everything. It's mamish givaldik. Oh, yeah, we got a show here. Yesterday I said that MDY should come out with the Pellegrino, coffee-flavored Pellegrino. And here, MDY is coming out with the Bezer Hashem, coming to a store near you. MDY special. Daf Yomi, coffee-flavored sparkling water. Givaldik. Also, I'll show you a real quick clip of my not such great form snowboarding, but it's better than nothing. Where are we with time? Okay, we got to move. So here, let me push the button here.
Morning. Yeah. Hey,
I said Erev Tov, voice over here. But... And then you're going to see my son. This is my son, go right over here on the top left. Here we go. And my son, Luzzy, is a phenomenal skier. And he has this app. I didn't have it then, this thing, but here's Yoel's there. And Luzzy was doing about 50 miles an hour over here. And he passes me by like nothing, turns the camera around, skis kilo nothing, and here I am. Beat me by a lot. Okay, that's enough for now. A little jump. Ugh, shvach. Next. No more. This, Rabbi Yisai, is Erev Shabbos in the Beis Medrash, taken by Yoel Fialkov. This is my Rebbe, Rabbi Yedidyo, giving the shir instead of me because I wasn't available. Zog the Heilige Gemara. So they had this bed over there, and they would put the guests in the bed. If a person had long feet, they would chop them down a little bit to fit into the bed. And if he was too short, they would stretch him. So people like to use this Gemara because it seems like in our society, everybody expects a one-size-fits-all when it comes to chinuch. There's one type of yeshiva, one type of everything, and all boys and girls have to fit into a certain box that they created, and if you don't fit into this box, you might as well go off the derech, or I think we're in a period of time that maybe we could think outside of the box and make other yeshivas. They started doing other types of things that work for different type of boys. A boy that has ADD, maybe doesn't fit into the regulars. A boy that has this, a boy that doesn't have a great memory or is not so good in learning. It just seems like this one bed fits everybody is not a good idea for chinuch. Says the Gemara, Eliezer Eved Avram Ikla Lazim. Again, Eliezer, the servant of Avram, comes to his dime. Amarle kum goni apuria. Come, sleep in this bed. Amarle, and he was smart. Nidru Nadri, I made a shvu, a neder, from the day that his mother died. Lo yanina apuria. I'm not going to sleep in a bed. I was just thinking to myself that if this was like a story with Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, so from that day on, he would never sleep in a bed. I don't know what happened with Eliezer, but okay, you don't sleep in bed, so they didn't cut off his feet. When a poor person comes, so this is very, very evil. The poor person comes to the city, and people are giving him money. They're giving him money, so he's all excited. Wow, I'm going to be wealthy now. I got a lot of money. In fact, he dies. Why? And each person writes their name on top of the money. Now he comes to the store, and you're new to the city. We're not going to sell you bread. What happens if he doesn't have bread? He dies from starvation with all this money in his pocket. It's evil, because if they didn't give him money, okay, but now he has his hopes high, he's all excited, he collected. Now all I need to do is go to the store and buy bread. And he gets to the store, there's no bread, and he dies. And everybody takes that one coin from him. And they made a deal in Zdaim, when you invite somebody to your wedding, if you're the inviter and you live in Zdaim, you have to give all your garments. So there's a wedding. He comes over there and they don't give him any bread. He wanted to eat. He sits at the end of the table. We want to know who invited you so we can take the guy's clothing. Eliezer is smart. He points to the guy right next to him. You invited me. So what happens? Omar, Dilmo, Shami, maybe people are going to know that I'm the one that they'll think that I invited him. They're going to grab my clothing. He grabbed his coat and ran outside. And this is what he did to every single person at the table. Everybody left the chasana. And he got all the food. One question, interesting question over here that you should think about. Maybe you have a great answer, and if you have one, please send it in. How did he get rid of the last guy? It seems like everybody left. But the last guy shouldn't be scared that they're going to take his clothing because nobody's there to take his clothing. They all ran away. It's only him and Eliezer. So why did the last guy leave? Okay. Question number 2 is, how did Eliezer eat so much food? Perhaps, on the second question, there's a famous Yalkut Shemaini that says that Eliezer, Eved Avram, is actually Oig Melech HaBashan. So if that's the case, it makes sense that he needed a lot of food to eat. It also makes sense he didn't want to go into that bed because they'll chop off 3/4 of his body. Havayi Revisa, the famous story, there's a little girl that Havos Komapka Rivka La'ani Bechatzbo. She was at Tzedekis. She wanted to help the poor people. So she took bread and she hid it inside pitchers and she would leave the city and give it to the poor people. Igloy Milsa, they did a little bit of, they were spying on her and they saw what she was doing and they found out. They smeared her whole body with honey and they put her on top of Al Igar Shura, on top of the wall of the city. And she got bitten by a bunch of bees and they ate her and they killed her. I heard the scream from Zdaim. And Rav says, I heard the crying of the girl. Says the spies don't have the all the people of Korah don't have a chelik and the earth swallowed them. And they should be lost from the nation forever. No, this is what Chana daven for. He puts you down in Gehenna, but he pulls you back up, and that's referring to the people of Korach. That's but the same thing we said before. It's not true. They do have a chelik. They're like a lost object. You have to go looking for it, and you need somebody, a gadol, to go daven for them. I believe it's David HaMelech saying that he's davening. Your slave is davening that the people from Korach, they should have a chelik l'olam haba. Now we have to darshan the words. Vayikach Korach. Vayikach. What does Vayikach mean? Omer Rish Lakish Shalokach Mekach Rola Atzmo. He took a terrible deal. He ended up in Gehenna. Korach Shenasi Korchel Yisrael. Yisrael. Korach means baldness. He caused a baldness in Klal Yisrael. When all those people were wiped off the face of the earth, it was a baldness for Klal Yisrael. Ben Yitzar, Ben Shetiach Olav is Kololim Katzorayim. He burnt up the whole world like the afternoon. Ben Kahas, Ben Shehiko Shino Shine Merlidov. He broke the teeth of those who gave birth to him. In other words, he embarrassed his parents. Ben Levi is Shevet Levi, but we could darshan it. Ben Shenas Levayo Begehenim. He escorted people in Gehenna. Ben Yaakov. Why, when the Torah describes Korach, why does the Torah stop at already in an hour? Okay, so we'll go for another 2 minutes. We can get to the bottom of the Amud. How come it doesn't describe Yaakov Avinu? It stops at Levi. And we'll explain. Ben Sha'akav Atzmi Gehenna. He caused with a heel himself in Gehenna. Or Shmuel Bar Yitzchak, Yaakov Bigish Racham Al Atzmi, because Yaakov Avinu down for himself. Shenemar b'soydem al tav nafshi b'kol mateichel kvoidi. What does that mean? B'soydem al tav nafshi. I don't want to be mentioned with Elu Meraglim, with the Meraglim. B'kol mateichel kvoidi. I don't want to be mentioned with the nation. Ze adas korach. What's dasan? Dasan. Sha'avar al das kale. Dasan das. Religion. He didn't believe in a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Aviram she'iber atzmoi masis tshuva. Or that he did averes, Iber that he atzmi masis tshuva, he didn't do tshuva. Va'oin is a lotion of aninos, shiosha ba'aninos. Pelas, shenas l'plois, like we're going to see the story that Oim and Pelas, he had miracles. Ben Ruvain, you take the word Ruvain, Ben Ruvain, Ben Shira v'hivin, son that saw and understood. Omer Rav, let's just finish up here. Oim and Pelas ishe shitzilatoi. Oim and Pelas, his wife saved him. How? What difference does it make to you who rules? If it's Moshe Rabbeinu or Korach, Imar Rabbo Antamida. If Moshe Rabbeinu is the ruler, you're still a Talmud. Imar Rabbo, and if Korach is the leader, Antamida, you're still going to be a Talmud. What can I do? Excuses. I can't get out of it. I swore to him I'm going to be on his team. I know that they're holy people. They're holy. Tuv, you just sit here. I'm going to take care of business. Then I'm going to save you. She was a great wife. She gave him some wine. She drunked him up. She made him drunk. She brought his bed inside. He slept inside the tent. She went to the doorway, and she took off her head covering. And therefore, the halacha is when a woman doesn't cover her hair, you're not allowed to look at her. Called Asa Chazia, whoever saw her, Hada ran away. So just real quickly, the Shoshana says that if a woman uncovers her hair, you could divorce her without giving her ksuba. The question is over here, could Oin divorce her without giving ksuba? So the Rashba had a story where a woman got upset at his wife, a woman got upset at her husband, and she, in order to get back at the husband, she removed her hair covering, she ran in the street. So the Rashba said she did it out of anger, it was a one-time thing, and Memela, she doesn't lose her ksuba. So you can say the same thing over here. I thought maybe that the halacha is that if a woman uncovers her hair in the house, it's not a problem, halachically. The halacha is only when she's outside of her own house. So it could be she was like in the doorway where halachically she's allowed to, you're not allowed to look at it. They couldn't see her because etc. But for her, there wasn't an issur. Interesting, maybe I'm wrong, because if you're allowed to uncover your hair in your own house, so maybe it's not Sarvi Yishaver. Then over there it's not Erva. I think over there you might be able to look at it. I think, yeah. So maybe that's wrong. So maybe she was on the outside of the house, and that's why they have to come onto that. Okay. And until he came back and he what's the word out? He sobered up. Until he sobered up, all of Korach's people, they were swallowed by the earth, and he was saved. Rabboisai. Have a good Voch. I'll see you, Beis Hashem, tomorrow.